Microphone check 1 2. Welcome back, ladies and gents, to the Ekasi Esports Chess Series. This is week 4 of the Ekasi Esports Chess Series, powered by Vodacom, and we're reporting live from the Ekasi Esports YouTube channel. I am not alone today. I'm with my main man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Snegrodamus. Sne, how you doing, man?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm having a very nice, relaxed Sunday. I'm hoping that the chess isn't nice and relaxed and that it's super intense. But that's why I'm going to really enjoy it. It's like the combination of the day. So I'm in a really good mood, quite excited. And it's going to be a nice, good day. Also, just before this, we got to see one of the players on stream doing non-chess related things. So I'm going to be quite excited to see what they do when they bring it to the field.
Yeah, diff. Yeah, we got to check out a bit of Becker Joy's stream earlier. But yeah, so also like I'm having an okay Sunday. Just having a couple of technical issues here and there in the background, but hopefully, the show runs smoothly. You know, the show must go on. You know, we'll just have to power through them. But yeah, so this is week 4 of the Ekasi Esports Chess Series, as I mentioned earlier. Today we'll have 32 contestants battling it out for that top 8 slots. For the top 8 slots, so they can advance over to the playoffs. So just to give you guys a rundown for those who are new, this is the Ekasi Esports Chess Series. We are running 8 weekly leagues, and in these 8 weekly leagues, we'll have 32 participants each week battling it out for a spot in the playoffs. So we only got 8 slots open every week. So today we have 32 players. They'll be fighting for that top 8 spots. But obviously, just to make it sweeter, just add a bit of spice to it, we decided to also have a first, second, and third place prize every week. So the person in first place today will walk away with 400 rands in cash. Second place will walk away with 200 rands in cash, and third place will walk away with 150 in cash. Yeah, ka-ching is right. Ka-ching is right. So yeah, so today we are almost ready to get the games going. I'm just looking at the clock this side. How many minutes do we have left? How many minutes does it say we have left here?
Zero.
The game started. The games are up and live. Okay, cool. I guess we can just like tune into the games. We're just waiting for everyone to join into the server, and we should be Gucci. Do you have any predictions today, Sneh? Like on who's going to take it based on the list of people who are playing today?
So based on what we're seeing here today and what we saw last time, I think we'll probably see Tats Jr. and Becker occupy the top 3.
Okay.
And then the third one, I think the outside chance either goes towards Lazy Cash or Laquisance. Lazy Cash has been a bit more consistent, but Laquisance has had some kind of like weird outside strats. You know, they just look kind of strange. Like people have a hard time dealing with it. But there's also a couple of other people that haven't been here every single week, but still have extremely high ratings. So let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Which game do you want to watch? Where do you want to start?
So we have Luquisance against Taps Jr. As our first match. So just to give you guys also a rundown again, this is a 3-round Swiss tournament, meaning that each participant will get to play 3 matches. So it's non-eliminating, meaning there's no knockouts, there's nothing like that. So even if you lose your first match, you still have another 2 chances to come back and hopefully place in the top 8. And if you want a piece of their money, you have to make sure that you win all of your 3 matches. But yeah, so far we have Luquisance against Taps Jr. People who are not new to this chess series, they've participated. I think some of them is like second or third time already. But yeah, so these guys I guess they're fighting for their top spot. I think they already made it into the playoffs. I guess right now they're just trying to get some of that cash prize to be at least when they get to the playoffs, like at least ours, somewhere in the top 3. So at least they can go into the playoffs with their bragging rights.
Yeah, bragging rights are quite important in any kind of competitive endeavor. And right now, speaking of bragging rights, I really do think that for Laquisance, this might be sort of like the worst opening matchup, right? Going up against Taps Jr. Because I think Laquisance is one of those players that sort of needs to build up steam as time goes on. And now you're going to be matched up in a really rough bracket in between. Taps Jr. already off to a very strong start. Looking at how they're able to control the board very effectively right now. But for me, the more impressive thing about how they're controlling the board is the complete lack of care and regard about how quickly the moves will come out. It's like, all right, let's go. Play super aggressively. I'm controlling the entire middle of the board without even having to really do all that much with my rooks on the backside of the midfield. Quite nice. Very easy movement with the bishops. Queen now is unleashed while being able to take a bishop in return. And I think you mentioned it once, right? That if you had to choose between having double bishops or having double knights, you'll take double bishops any day of the week, especially if it means also unleashing the queen while doing it.
Yeah, 100s. Yeah, because like having double bishops is a nightmare. I've dealt with that and I have first-hand experience, dealing with double bishops, and I also have, I've missed a couple of people up on the board with double bishops. So yeah, I'd highly prefer having double bishops over two knights. It's also just mobility sake, because it's easy to at least like kind of predict the knight's moves because they have a set number of steps they could take, and also they move in a certain direction. But at the same time, having two knights is also an advance. I guess it just depends on play style. It's just like you dumb it down to like play style at the end of the day, because like I said, I prefer it's all about preference at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I guess yeah, both players will be exchanging their two minor pieces. So now it's only one bishop on the board and one knight. Which now I guess I have to switch it now. If I would have to, if I had to choose between a knight and a bishop on the board, I'd rather stick with the knight. If I can only choose one,
just have one.
Yeah, if I could just
Yeah.
if I could have just have one, I would choose the knight. Like I said, like it can jump over stuff. It's a horsey. It's a horsey. That's how the ship tells a horse. But yeah, I'll just like because at the same time it's easy to box in a bishop, into a particular diagonal. At the end of the day, you can also limit its moves by just like putting pieces in front of it. And if it's one color square, and it can only move in a certain in one color. In one certain color, like it's a dark square bishop or it's a light square bishop. So you see, but if you have both, then it's a bit of both worlds. But then if I could only have one, then I'd rather go for a knight because at least it's not limited to dark squares or light squares.
One thing that I'm thinking right now, looking at the way that the board is set up,
Mm-hmm.
is whether or not in the long run that trade was actually worth it. Now that I'm looking at it for Tabs Jr., I was speaking earlier about how a lot of these movements that have been being made have happened whilst the rook was completely immobile, both rooks on Tabs Jr. side, but now it's actually kind of working against them because of the fact that they've actually given up both knights, now an additional bishop. Pawn positioning is pretty good here on e4 for black, protecting quite a lot of positioning for Luquisans. It now kind of means that there's a lot of space that got opened up by the trade, so ends up working out really badly because think about how many moves now Tabs Jr. has to commit just to try and open up enough space to actually play. The queen is also in a very landlocked position. Bishop can't really do all that much in terms of where it's retreated to on that f4 block. So I think right now Tabs Jr., despite a very strong opening, is kind of on the back foot. Most of the space and most of the areas to play on the board kind of belong at the moment to Luquistans. And with this defensive move, I think as well, making sure that you protect this knight, given that it's your only real way of playing the mid board without your pawns that are, been decimated on the wings. It's only the ones that are sitting on the AB and GH files that are left right now. So I really don't like this move either. Yeah, I was about to say F5 knight seems very good for me. Force the queen to move away into an uncomfortable position. You add pretty much zero threat as the knight itself, and you're still protected by the queen. So I think Luquisans has done a really good job. This is the kind of what I was talking about. Why I was like, let's not talk Luquisans out of the contest, because every now and then, even from a very bad position, Luquisans make something happen.
Yeah, 100s definitely. It's a game of chess. Anything can happen, and we're still in that stage. Right now, it's the mid game, so anything could still happen. I'm also not counting out Tabs. Even though I feel like the trade wasn't in his favor as well. But I feel like it's not over. It's far from over as well. But also just looking at like both positions. That e4 pawn is really a thorn on White's position. Because it has already moved up and infiltrated White's territory. But also looking at the black side, he has that, he is also like defending that e4 pawn as well. Maybe could like look to, pushing it a bit further, or maybe just force an exchange from White and just like put White in a very uncomfortable position. Because if you look at that king side on White side, the bishop also is like very limited. It can go into very limited territory. As I mentioned before, having a single bishop on the board is not the best thing to have, especially during mid game, because they just box it in and they just keep on applying pressure on that. And as you can see, more pressure is being applied onto that bishop, and at the same time just keeping that support on the e4 pawn as well. So the White's bishop's moves are very numbered. If I was Luquisans, I would just try to just at least get that bishop out of the board.
Yeah, and I think the
so
thing
you
is
stuck on that
like
king side. You
the
saying?
situation that I was gonna say the situation that they find themselves in, because of, like you mentioned, the lack of other special pieces on the board. It's only having a queen and some pawns to control this area. There's actually normally you'd wonder to yourself, is it really worth it trading a rook for a bishop? But I am actually really surprised that the trade didn't come out there. I kind of feel like when you're in this situation, right, you still have a knight, you still have another rook, you still have your queen. All that's left for white at this point is bishop double rooks. I think this is one of those situations where the trade might have actually been okay, but overall, I think that Opeason's still valuing the control that this rook still offers here in the middle of the board. Even though the aggressive posturing might have been opened up by making that trade, if you're not fully confident that you can end the move soon there afterwards, sometimes aggressive trades, you like we spoke about this I think in week 1, where if you're the one from behind, trading sometimes really hurts you if you're not going to be the one that makes something happen immediately afterwards. So like the defensive posturing, I guess, given the context of the game, but does still mean that there's going to be a lot of work to do for Taps Jr.
No, definitely. I feel like the trade was going to be a bit too early, and I feel like it's a very risky move, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So I don't think Luquisens is also as comfortable like just trading a rook for a bishop, especially during this like part of the game. Like I said, anything could still happen. We're still in the mid game, going towards the end game, so anything could happen. All right. So one party could, if one party makes a blunder, then the other party has to capitalize and just win the game. We're very much in that part of the game where one mistake could cost you the whole game. And I feel like that could be a big mistake if Lequisens had traded one of the rooks. Even though you say it's come, I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing the idea, but like, yeah, I feel like it was just going to be a bit too early. Just like wait it out a bit and just have a feel a bit like a bit more feel. Maybe remove some pawns. Maybe remove a couple of pawns from White's position. Weaken White's position a bit more, and after that jump in for the kill. But as you can
I was
see,
watching UFC yesterday. That's why, I want to see these aggressive plays, man.
yeah, see these aggressive plays. The person opens himself up, and then the person takes the bait, and then boom, right in the
There
face.
we go. There we go.
But like, if you can't do that in round 1, because the person still got energy, so you just want to time out. Time out, like maybe then try it out maybe like in the 4th round, 5th round. Once the person has used up a bit of energy. You know what I'm saying? So at least remove a couple of pawns on White's position. Weaken his position a bit because right now, looking at the pawn structure, it's still solid on both sides. So I feel like it's a bit too early to make any super risky plays unless you know what you are doing.
This
If
is
you know
a
what you're
really
doing.
interesting pawn move. I mean, I think that Japs Jr. definitely knows what they're doing with this pawn move here on his H5 because this forces out a couple of interesting situations, right? It's either you take the pawn, take the bait, right? Do what
Ooh.
you're doing right now, and now there's additional space to be played in for white on the side of the board. You're not really concerned about this pawn getting anything done. You also blocked off any real possibility of double promotion. As long as you block off the A file, this H file now, you effectively control 2 pawns at once. This guy is actually fairly effective considering the game state right now. And Chess Jr. though doesn't want to play aggressively either. Still very content to be like, well, there's no real punish in tow for me taking this pawn. There's no one move that can be made by Loquisens to defend this pawn effectively. So yeah, it might be a circuitous route that you're not happy with. It's still going to be effective ultimately. And we do see though that Loquisens does not want to allow that to happen by posturing mediumly aggressively. But there's yet again, no one move you can make that genuinely threatens on the other side of the board. Like, sure, this bishop is threatened right now, but you're probably, if you weren't going to make any trades earlier on in that situation, you're not going to make the trade now for this bishop and knight. So I do
100.
think that you get a bonus positioning now. Yep, there we go. Taps Jr. We see that H file completely blocked, so pawns are useless. Bishop moves up, more space opened up to actually play some chess. Because now you have this F pawn suddenly unleashed once more.
Yeah, Diff. Yeah, because I feel like who's this? Luquisens was trying to go for that trade, maybe just get rid of the bishop, because I think he was looking to exchange the knight for the bishop, which I feel like he didn't have to. I feel like he can still do a lot more, and that bishop is not really causing any immediate threat onto black side. So yeah, I feel like black still has a chance, to build up more of an attack, before exchanging that knight away for that bishop. Um, but yeah, but look here, it looks like the engine has given the white side a bit more of the advantage because a couple of moves ago black had the advantage, but now it looks like the white side has a bit of the advantage. But I guess that's like position wise, looking at white's position. Plus now, white has placed that his rook on that B file. That's in my
Man,
open B file.
how long has Taps Jr. been waiting just to get these rooks into some kind of playable position? My goodness.
Yeah, because I feel
Patience eventually rewarded.
Yeah, because I feel like once White gets his bishops in the game, that's I mean the rooks in the game, then that's when things get like a bit more heated. That's why we start seeing a bit
Yeah.
more of a battle. 'Cause right now, it's like they're just like eyeing each other down. Just like a stance, a standoff at the moment, just to see who will draw first. But no one has drawn yet. Oof.
This is interesting. I think this opens up. Don't you go rook to b5 here if you're playing on white in this situation?
But then you lose the rook, don't
No,
you?
you don't. It's
Oh, I mean
protected by
B5.
a4 pawn.
Oh, you mean B5?
Yeah,
Oh,
b5.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking about you take B6. Excuse me. Yeah, but yeah, I guess you can move into B5. Just to add more pressure onto that fifth rank, and also kick the queen from that position as well, because the queen is is also providing more support onto the A4 pawn. So just you kick it away a bit more, and
And
then
then
you
after you do that, right, then you can advance like the d4 pawn onto d5. Then you threaten e6 rook as well. Open up a little bit more space.
yeah,
You've now
then
controlled the midboard.
you slowly move up. Yeah, you slowly move up your
Mm.
attack. But yeah, you still have to be careful of that knight. But yeah. So far this is oh yeah, I like because that's also the other idea. Ooh,
Nope. Oh, that's pain.
oof,
Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering.
god damn.
Got you
Oh,
baited. Got you baited. Got
he
you baited.
caught the bait and well played by Taps. Well played by Taps. So what
Mm.
happens now? What happens?
So now what happens, right? If you're a Taps Junior, now what happens is that you ask yourself, okay, who am I losing first, right? Am I losing? Actually, not necessarily. Not necessarily, right? Because here's one of the issues that is going to be prevalent right now is that there's no very easy way. We've been talking about this a lot to do one move that is going to completely negate this kind of attack, right?
Mm.
So I think what you do is you defend with the rook that you have on c file, bring it up.
No, but it's just a check for now.
I know,
He's not
but
completely
like,
out of danger.
yeah, I don't know about this one because getting out of check in the situation, it's kind of difficult to imagine a game state, right? Where from here onwards, Taps Junior is kept in check for the rest of the game in
So
such a way as to keep this queen alive now. Because now we're just gonna have a straight up queen trade. You'll
yeah,
still take this.
but I guess it's a win for Taps in the day because he still got rid of that knight. Oh, actually no, it's a fair exchange because the bishop also is gone.
Yeah,
But
bishop
like Taps
for
Junior,
bishop knight, and then yeah.
yeah, but Taps Junior still has that 1 point advantage. But then also that pawn on oh, what's that? What? Why?
Yeah. Well,
Why?
um,
Why? What?
look pieces,
Oh no, no,
look
no!
pieces,
It can't end like this.
look pieces.
Oh man!
The game just ended.
Just a
The game
miscalculation.
literally just ended. Oh my
Oh, that was a
gosh.
blunder. That was a blunder. You see, that's what I meant.
Yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG's. He resigned. He threw in his towels. Like, nah, 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 nah. This is not gonna work. Yeah, because as I did mention, they were like in a very tight position of the game, where anyone who made the mistake, the first mistake was gonna lose. And yeah, I think that was the first round. I think we only have one more match left in the first round of week
Yeah.
4. So it's we
Let's
have.
finish quickly.
Yeah,
We're
we
running out
got
of
we
time.
got Calto Apollo against Lazy Cash. Lazy Cash also another familiar face in the tournament, but Cult, I'll call him Cult. Cult is I think that's a new name on the that's the new name of the thing.
There
Ooh,
you
and
go.
that's it. GG's.
Yeah.
When I was just like getting into the match, and then Lazy Cash was like, "Okay, no, we're
I
done.
mean,
We're moving on to the
but Cult
second round."
Apollo had like literally 4 seconds left to play. So it was one
Oh,
of these things. It was literally a matter of time. Nothing you could do to avoid that.
it was pretty much high for Cult. But yeah, he's playing a very experienced player, Lazy Cash. Like I said, he's a familiar face. He's been around he's been around since the beginning, since the first day of the tournament. And he came out, I think, came out second place in the first week. But ever since, I think that was his highest placement. So he's also still in it, trying to get that first place spot, as well as get his hands on that 400 rands. Because he's already in the playoffs. He doesn't really need to, right? He doesn't need to play the rest of the weeks, but he can because I guess he has a free Sunday. He's chilling. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna check out a bit. Just gonna have some chess, entertain myself,
Yeah,
entertain my
I'll just
Sunday a
take it
bit.
easy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. And I think we jump into Bekra. Let's jump into Bekra. You know,
Yeah, let's see what
we
Becker's
got
doing.
Bekra on the board against Mr. T. I'm not gonna say the name on
Definitely
stream,
not.
but like, yeah, that guy. So
That guy.
we got T. Yeah, I call him T. Yeah,
How about TJ? There we go.
yeah, TJ. Yeah, I'll call him TJ.
TJN, yeah.
So we got
TJ,
TJ
yeah.
against Bekra, TJ with the black pieces and Bekra with the white pieces. Bekra, I predict Bekra's gonna take this one just like based off the experience and just like watching her play these past couple of weeks. I think she's been around since week 3. I mean week 2.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, she's been around for a minute as well. So she came out first last week. So she's the person to beat this week. So she's one of the top contenders for taking that first place prize. And I guess she could either always join. Unless if someone comes through, like this is a call out to anybody who feel like they can take Becker down, because I feel like she's gonna dominate. Especially if she keeps on joining these weekly leagues, she's gonna just keep on taking that 400 rands every time. So
But
Sunday, so it's gonna be like payday. You know what I'm saying? So
She mentioned on stream though that she's not going to be around for a couple of weeks. So that does mean that after this one, there's a little bit of an opportunity for people to claw back something resembling an advantage. And we already see that some of this experience from her coming out as this check move right here. Free knight. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Well, there is something you can do about it, but you can delay the inevitable is all you can do. This knight is going to die no matter what. And looking like just another death to office so far for Bekra. Already having an advantage, looking very strong. Middle of the board without having to commit too many pieces. So, there's two ways to look at it sometimes, right? It's about either do you think that you've diminished your potential ways of playing out the game, your potential advantages on the board, or do you feel that because you haven't really committed any pieces, you have lots of options? And clearly, Becca is of the latter school of thought because she has so many options. Pressure everywhere. It's just so difficult for TJ right now.
Yeah, this is bad for TJ. Oh, TJ. Oh my god, that was a bland eye. It's shy. For me, this is when I call it quits. put down the I put down the king. Bad. Yeah, this is really bad for TJ. Even that check is just like a desperate check. Why why'd she do that? Why'd she take the knight? Why did she take the knight of the queen? She just take the
because she wants to keep the check pressure up.
Yeah,
but
the bishop is still protected by the knight on c3. So there was no.
Yeah, but then if it's still protected, but then you give up the check pressure, then you can't protect and check at the same time. So
the queen is pinned. The queen is pinned in that position, so the queen can't do anything there. It's not like the queen can move and go for it. So. I feel like that was very unnecessary for Bekra. But I guess, she still does get the queen and she still does get that knight, but like at the cost of a rook.
Yeah. I mean, you still get you're gonna get everything anyway. I guess see what you mean, right? Like this is one of these things where the result is the same ultimately, but it's sort of like where the positioning is, right? And you still get the additional rook afterwards. So I don't know. I think that's if we replay this like a million times, you probably do go back, I think. I was also thinking the same thing that like it would be an easy thing, but I suppose, sometimes you tunnel vision when you're playing the game. You're so focused on making sure you keep your pressure on one particular side of the board that you're like, then you conclude you don't need one thing. And then suddenly, I think also, like, I'll be honest, that this bishop sort of blindsided me. I wasn't really paying attention all that much to this bishop move back onto d7. So TJ, I think with that also sort of broke the momentum a little bit. And it's like, yeah, okay, I was playing a little bit too aggressively before. You know what? It is what it is. Let's just go back. I mean, ultimately, you're still a queen up, right? You still have the +2 advantage. You're still going to get this knight. And you want to make the game a little bit interesting. So I'm okay with this.
I'm not, to be honest. I'm not. That was
from an entertainment perspective, I'm saying I'm okay with this.
Okay, I guess it makes a game a bit more entertaining. Right, but like I'm just saying, like for Bekra, because like I'm saying, you want to win, okay? You're here to win that 400 rands because you already qualified for the playoffs. I'm here to win the 400 rands, right? So I have to make sure I don't give my opponent any chance, right? And by her losing that rook, it's just like I feel like that was a bad move from her. It's just a bad call. But like I said, tunnel vision, because like right now the disadvantage about her moving that king away is that now she can't castle. Now she has to do a bit more effort to protect that king. She doesn't have a rook.
Okay.
She only has a rook. So if they have to go into an end game, which I doubt it's gonna get there, but like if it has to get if it has to get down there, then
I don't think
it's rough.
Okay. To be honest, right? Like I think one of the other things as well is one of the reasons why I'm like honestly ultimately okay with it, right? Is look where the game is actually being played right now for Becca.
Yeah,
Despite the fact that this, it didn't really change anything about like the game state, right? You're still in a situation where you've mopped up here in the middle of the board. You're still trying to force out either a promotion on this pawn or a way to just completely clean up the backside. You didn't really need all that many additional pieces to make these kind of moves happen. So you lost some pawns, right? You lost some bishops, but you're still in such a strong position. I don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things.
Not different.
But I get, yeah. But it's still for TJ. There's still opportunity, right? Because now you're playing into a game where you're not necessarily worried about bishops. You're only worried about knights. Sure, you don't have bishops of your own, but there's a little bit more of a ease of execution that's possible now for you in the state of the game, despite how difficult it's going to be. But right now, I really like this move from Becca. Becca's making sure that those possible game states for TJ aren't really possible. Moving this knight up onto e2, make sure that you completely landlock TJ's knight here. There's no way that he can go there, doesn't get immediately eaten up. So that means that you're only effectively playing with pawns, and because you can't move the rooks either, right? The rook that's on H file is completely landlocked behind the king. The rook that's sitting on D file can't really do anything for fear of what the queen will do to him. So now it's just a matter of time and seeing whether or not Becca's moves will maintain the composure to close it out slowly.
Yeah, not Dave. Like like I said, like that move by Becker didn't change the game. I mean, didn't change like the conclusion. I think. Oh well, hopefully, it didn't change the conclusion. Of because like the conclusion is she wins this game, right? But it has made the job a bit tougher for her. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like right now we're in the middle of the game and we're going towards the end game, and that extra rook could have come in handy about now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know how that knight escaped. I don't know how that knight escaped. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a mission for her to close it off now. She still has that that advantage, but she could possibly force out an exchange, especially with that d7 pawn. But like she really has to play well going forward here. She can't afford to make any further mistakes, because any mistake right now might cost her the game. It might really cost her the game. So I'm more of a clean guy. I'm like a hitman. So if I'm playing against someone in chess, I want to make sure that I end the game, nice, easy, no stress. I kill you. Did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give you a chance to come back. That's just me. And I guess that's why that move didn't sit well with me, because I'm like, come on, big crack, come on. But nah,
Right, so where does she go from here? So we just see this move now onto e4 with this queen. Now the question is,
this is still
TJ.
her game. This is still her game. But like she has to just play. She has to be just careful with she mustn't be negligent with some of the moves that she makes, and she mustn't get too excited, because I feel like the excitement also takes control of you. And the tunnel vision, like you said, that tunnel vision hurts. So trust me, I've been there. That tunnel vision hurts, and you think you still got the game, and then boom. It's a problem.
Then the game is over.
Then the game is chai. It's chai. You don't need to be like that. You want to end it.
So the question for me is going to be like whether or not we see any forceful plays to try to get some pawn promotions out of this game for Becca. In the position you're in right now, you can make some fully hardcore moves up forward with this queen. I doubt that's what you necessarily want to do. So I think the place that we should necessarily be looking is to... Oh, wow, that's actually nice. That is very nice. You force movement. You know that because of the fact that they played aggressively from Becca's side with the knight off of c file, now suddenly it opens up the pawn on a2. Nice for the goblin. Goblet up, threaten the rook on c3, force a maneuver. Sure, even if you force I was actually thinking, like, do you just force a trade straight up? Because you're going to force the promotion play out of this one. one way or the other, eliminate one of the rooks. It's a trade, but you're still going to have double knights on your side. Make sure that you still have space for this pawn that's sitting on D file, either D7 or D4 for further promotion. So I want to see how TJ responds. Yep, there we go. Promotion plays, and now it's just a shell game. Here we go.
Yeah, now it's like a queen versus rook situation, and Becker still has the two knights. I feel like she could end this, by getting her two knights also involved and active in the game as well. But yeah, this is gonna be a very, very task, not a tight squeeze for her because like after she still has the majority of the advantage, but like I said, she can't afford to make any mistakes right now. For me, I'm just I'm just hoping she doesn't make any mistakes going forward because I feel like that's the only thing that could cost her the game right now because there's nothing really much TJ could do to come back here. But yeah, I guess we shall see what happens. I'm just like trying to see how many games are left in this first round. I mean, in the second round, there's only one more match left. But I guess we'll jump into it as soon as we're done with this game. And yeah, this is
Why
pretty
do these
much it.
Becker games have a tendency to go so long?
I think it's because like it's like she comes out like aggressive. She comes off with that heat. She makes the advantage. She builds up that advantage for herself. Because position wise, she knows how to develop her pieces. She knows how to put her pieces in a good position, and she tactically, like she's very good. Also, in her games, she's a very tactical mind. It's just that she makes one mistake that ends up dragging the whole game. So I don't know. Maybe she's doing it on purpose just to drag out the game and make it a bit more enticing and a bit more fun, or or yeah.
All about the showmanship, man. All about the showmanship.
Yeah, just adding a bit of the entertainment into the game. But yeah, or it's just like it's just some blunders here and there.
Well, the entertainment is going to end because movement queen directly onto h8, easy checkmate, nowhere for the king to go. Game is done, so game is over.
Yeah, because that mate has been sitting for like 2 moves now, and I was like, wait, why is she taking the checkmate? I mean, I know we were all for the showmanship, and providing entertainment for the people at home, but come on, like if it's obvious, if
it's obvious, just take it.
Just take it.
It's obvious, just take it.
Just take it, man. That's all I'm about. Like, don't play with your food. Mom told me never to play with my food, and I grew up with a strict parent. Yeah, well, finish. You better finish it. You don't play with food.
You're like, ish, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So let's see. We have one more game left, right? Mercy and Cult Apollo.
Yeah.
Cult Apollo right now playing on white side in a situation where things aren't looking that great. You've been sort of decimated with that many pieces being committed on the other side. You're down a bishop, down a 3 pawns, down a knight. But I think the crucial thing is you've played very far up with your queen without having given her much support on that side. You only have support from this bishop here that's sitting on c1. So that means that this bishop is underdeveloped. This rook just trapped itself because it can't move anymore. You have very few options. And I think similar to what we saw at the beginning of the game we just saw with Becca, despite having committed very few pieces of their own on Mercy, now they have this option where, all right, suddenly I can start making super aggressive moves without any fear of reprisal because I have all these options, but you've already overcommitted your position and I can easily counter anything you might try to do to take my pieces.
Yeah. It's looking pretty grim for Cult. I mean, yeah, for Cult. Because also just looking at his position is very it's not underdeveloped per se. It's just like the bishop hasn't been developed. It's not in the game yet, and I feel like if it was developed earlier, it might have changed how the game looked. And he goes for the queen exchange.
That's nice.
He wants to go for the.
This is nice.
Wants to go for the queen exchange. I'm not sure if that's the best move for Cult at the moment because, like I said, like when you're down, especially in terms of position, because if you look at the position on the board, Black owns the board. Like Black owns the whole board. Like the only if you get White's pieces, that's still like in the White's territory. And I feel like that exchange was not the best thing because like if you're down in terms of advantage, I feel like you should keep your queen because the queen could do wonders for you on the board. It could tilt things the other way. If you just like stick with it for a minute. So I would have preferred maybe not exchanging queens.
I'm inclined to agree with that in the situation that Going for the. Oh, this is a little bit
I guess
interesting here.
I-
That was an interesting move.
I guess he was feeling a bit generous. Messi was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna do for some charity this Sunday. It's a Sunday, it's church day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do a bit of charity. So here's a night. Here's a night.
I mean,
that has swayed
the
things
rook could get
way.
out of this.
Oh,
It's really
man.
bad because like
This is really bad for Mercy
even though
now.
we were on the board, right? That rook wasn't doing anything. That's sitting on B2 on B1. Sorry. So you're like happily like take it any day of the week.
Yeah,
I get a better piece in exchange for this. Are you kidding me? Oh
And,
my
and now, if you look at the piece advance, the pieces on the board, it's pretty much even now. Well, when Mercy had the whole all the advantage, he had all the possession, he had everything, and now the white square bishop, the black bishop, is now also under threat, and its moves are almost limited. The only move that the white square bishop could play right now is like what, C1, I mean C2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play C2, but you're still under pressure. You still have now this. This rook isn't really under pressure. It's sitting on F8, but now this bishop's completely open in the middle of the board. You now have this rook that can start moving around. The pawns that you have sitting on this E and F files won't really be able to accomplish all that much. And because there's still a bishop and a rook, it's very unlikely to see the promotion on pawns that are sitting on 6 and 7 numbers.
Wait,
now
hold
you
up.
just got the
Mercy.
bishop. What?
Mercy.
Wait, what?
No,
Mercy?
No, Mercy. I think you're showing too much mercy now. No. You're showing too much mercy. Like the game has turned. This is like 180. It's like a whole 180. Like the advantage bar when we tuned into this match, it was all the way black. Now it's all the way white. That's how crazy this is, because Mercy had all the advantage in the world. How do you mess it up?
How did the change? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Now it's suddenly perfect. Look, there's only one special piece left on the board, and that special piece somehow belongs to Calcio Paulo.
Bruv.
Are you kidding me?
Hey man, I did say that this is chess and anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
But not like this though, man. I think Mercy should change his name. Maybe the name is getting a bit to his head. Because he was showing a bit too much mercy there.
The Lord of Mercy is out here. Well, now it's now it's a race to see, can you prevent. Okay, wait, hold on. There's a win condition here. Look at Calcio Paulo. Calcio Paulo's running out of time. This is the W. Here we go. Here we go. Mercy. Mercy. You see, we're watching chess. Mercy's playing several degrees of chess higher than what we're watching right here.
Yeah, he just bamboozled us. I didn't even look at the time. Oh my god. Oh, see, this is such thing about playing time control chess, because you could make a comeback eventually after eating your brain out, and then eventually when you make that comeback, you don't have enough time to finish it off. Which sucks. Look,
right now.
Oh man, this
Hold on.
like this.
Hold on. Calc could do it. Calc could do
Oh,
it.
no,
Calc could do it.
it's-
No, Calcio Paulo not like this.
Okay, one second. Oh, yeah.
Wait.
It's shy. Ooh, 0.4. No, this is shy. This is shy. Oh,
So
man.
if Mercy is really smart, right? If Mercy is really next level, then Mercy will just try to force. Yeah, there we go. Time out.
Oh man,
Mercy.
Oh,
What a player.
I don't know.
What a
Was that on
player.
purpose? Did he check the time? Did he purposely make those moves to bamboo Carl to scare Carl to be like?
Yes,
whoa.
so here's the strat, right? You're looking at the game and you're like, I'm not 100% sure how many moves I can win in. But I know if I frustrate him, give him the opportunity, tantalize him into not playing defensively, but opening up the board so there's no opportunities for stalemates either. So now he's like, wait, I can win. Calcio Paulo's feeling themselves. And then you come through. With that time victory. Big plays.
No, not like that, bro.
Big
not
plays,
like that.
bruh. Big plays.
Hey man, it's chess. It's chess.
It's chess.
It's hectic, man. And for those who said there's no action in this, man, you're probably not watching the correct chess stream. So that's why every Sunday you gotta tune in. This is the plug. Every Sunday you better tune at 3 p.m. on the Ekasi Esports YouTube channel to make sure that you catch the live Ekasi Esports chess series powered by Vodacom Games. That was a mouthful. But yeah, and if you guys would like to know more details about the tournament or the whole competition, make sure to visit the tournament page, which is www.ekasiesports.africa/chess-series. If you didn't catch that, the link is in the description. I think I could have just said that initially, but yeah, make sure to tune into the games. This is week 4. Next week will be week 5. We'll have 8 weeks, and then after the 8 weeks, we'll go into the playoffs, where all these people who are battling it out, they'll meet each other on that grand stage, where they will battle it out for a bigger grand prize and to be crowned the chess champion of the first ever Ekasi Esports chess series, proudly powered by Vodacom. So yeah, Kobe, man. Kobe.
So yeah, you got the switch on that one. Let's watch. You know who we haven't seen, right? So I was just looking at the leaderboard right now, and we've got 4 players right now that are sitting on 2 wins right now. So
Yeah.
Problem X and Coronations we haven't seen just yet.
That's the game I got live. That's the game I got live, actually.
Hey,
yeah, that's the
great
game.
minds.
Hey,
There
great
we
minds
go.
think alike. You know how it is, man. That's why if we had to play chess, it's probably going to be stalemate because you don't know. You never know. But I wouldn't let it get to that. I won't play my food.
I would try to go for a perfect spin-off. I would ensnare you in a trap, my friend. You'd be playing forever.
Touche. Yeah, but I mean, perfect is better. I'm just saying by definition. But hey, I guess we just have to put the money where our mouth is. So, and we should have that show match. If you guys would love to see that show match, leave a comment in the comment section, or just like drop a comment on the video. If you're watching this after the live stream, leave a comment. And if you'd like to see a show match, just holla. And if you guys want to challenge us like flat out, also just leave it there in the comment. Then we might consider it. But yeah, so here we have if the price is right. What, should add a prize on it? I have to talk
just me.
I have to talk with the team, and see, maybe make it a bit more enticing, but we shall see. But yeah, so we have Coronations against Problem X. Coronations is also not new to this. He's been here for a couple of weeks now. He's also a good player. I think he also made it to the playoffs. Most of these guys are coming back. They're coming back for their prize money because they already know that, hey, I'm in the playoffs. I just want to get a piece of that money, just to taste how it is, just to get my taste buds tantalized,
just be out here in the good life.
yeah, just to get a taste of that money, so I can get more motivation to gym and work out for the playoffs. And actually, I guess some of them are using this as like sparring sessions, just to prep.
Yeah.
Because obviously the competition would be tight. It's going to be tight during the playoffs. So people have to bring their A game. So if you made it to the playoffs, you have to make sure you bring your A game so you can win that grand prize. I think the person who comes out first, I'm not sure, was it like $5,000? You get $5,000?
I think it's $5,000.
Yeah, it's $5,000. Imagine. So, hey man, it's not $400. No, it's $5,000. So you wanna make sure you take all that big ass prize at home. Plus it's COVID times. We need that money. We need that money. Man. So yeah, just
that COVID money.
Yeah, look at the points. This is
Speaking
very
of
slow.
I was literally about to bring that up. That A game is also sometimes requires deliberation, patience, and waiting for your opportunity, because we had like a full minute before we saw this young night trade, and although that night trade did happen on Problem X's terms, it does still mean that Coronations is unleashed with the queen in a very good position, making it very difficult right now for him to do anything from Problem X regarding the middle of the board until I think it'll take like 2-3 moves to develop any kind of coherent response to this. And in that time, I think Coronations can build up a sizable advantage. We already see special pieces coming out, knights opening up onto C6. Looking to try and make sure that this entire side of the board is covered. And I don't think you have any other option right now. Problem X realizes I cannot play with the king on that side, so I have to go for the immediate thoughts with the castle. It is what it is. It's not fun. You don't like to do it, but sometimes you just have to do it.
No, diff. Also, just looking at the position, it's very tight. It's still pretty even. Both sides still get to develop their pieces. We had that early aggressive play where both sides exchanged the knights, but now I feel like the game has now settled down, and I guess everyone just reset and everyone's just trying to develop their pieces. Both sides have castled. On Problem X's side, he's on actually, I think we're pretty even at the moment. No one's really behind the move. So I'm guessing the next move by Problem X is probably connecting the rooks, but I prefer developing that y square bishop and putting it maybe on the d file. On the d3 square, just having more pressure on the board, and controlling more diagonals. Instead of just like leaving it there on the e2 square, because I feel like it's just like controlled on that single diagonal. It's eyeing down at the moment. But yeah,
see what ends up.
This does look like
This is
a.
actually quite nice though. This is interesting because look how aggressively Correlations is playing with this, right?
Mhm.
Positioning this pawn forward. You were literally just talking about that bishop that's sitting on the e2 square, and it might look like a tantalizing target. Obviously, still covered by the queen, but it does maybe signal a little bit of intent from Problem X to play and trying to actually regain control. Because it looks like Coronation is also really intent on actually playing on the left side of the board. Everything is moving that side, with the exception of this one rook that's sitting on f-file. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Like, I can understand necessarily that when you feel, I've got myself a small advantage here. This seems like a hole in the armor. Let me try to exploit it as much as possible, but it might also be an overcommittal on the strategy.
Yeah, I feel like it's still like we're still like in the in the early stages of the game, so it's like I guess we still have to like wait and see how the game plays out for a minute before we can make any conclusions. Because like I said, it's pretty much even right now. Not neither side has really much of the advantage, and I guess we're stepping that territory off. One mistake could cost you the game. It might cost you the game. But a match I really want to watch is because another pair which is tied for that first place spot is Jaden Smith, Jaden Sire Smith.
Mm, yeah.
I don't think that's a Jaden we know. Or is it? Hey, I don't know. Hey, if Will Smith is watching, holler at us. But yeah, against so we got Jaden against Bekra. Jaden is also tied in and also is contesting for the first place spot. So whoever wins here could be in first place. Because obviously we need to have
Yeah.
a winner, right, in Prom Max's
So
game.
there'll be one more.
Yeah, unless if they draw, unless if one of them draws and then one of them wins in the other match. Yeah, that's when you. But like I feel like we might have a tie on our hands, and we might have to go to tiebreakers. But that also depends on the tiebreaker points, because at the moment we have tiebreaker points set up so that we can easily handle ties and all that, which might seem a bit like of a nightmare because you're not in 100% control of your tiebreaker
We
points
let
because
the technology handle it. It's
we let
fine.
we let the technology handle it, but it's also dependent on the opponents that you played with earlier. So if you played
Yeah.
with powerful opponents and they managed to, at least win a couple of matches, then at least you have higher tiebreak points. But yeah, we don't need to get to that. So you just have to make sure that you win your match. Just win your match, and then we'll have these
Easy.
fights. Yeah,
Super easy. Be an 800 rank player. No problem. Easiest thing in the world.
1,800. Just not get
No.
ambitious.
1800, nothing, man. I actually just realized that what you're mentioning now with the tiebreaker points is like us having VAR, but for chess, yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah,
We out here.
it's kind of stressful because you're letting the technology take control and you're letting other factors take control on what position you could end up in, which is kind of sad. Uh, but yeah,
Hmm.
wait.
This is interesting. So I was actually while we were talking, I was thinking whether or not Becca was going to decide to make that particular maneuver with the knight pushing higher up to trade with the bishop. Also, internally landlocked bishop, you still want to make sure that you take that out. Right now, considering you have no bishops of your own, keep
Mhm.
that white file open on the diagonal so you can actually make moves there. And Becca does decide to make that particular movement. And
Mhm.
also, we see that the chicken game ends up being won by Becca.
Mhm.
And the night trade, Jaden Smith does not want to go for it, rather opts to back off. And it's actually quite interesting to see that in both games that we've come across right now, looks like that one side has been opposite pieces, but one player has been the one that's been playing hyper aggressively with everything, and one player is sort of turtling, waiting for an opportunity before
Mhm.
they really start opening up. But somehow that one player who's playing turtling is still able to find a lot of special pieces of their own. And I think the way that the situation is, it's very, very even in the game right now. Slight advantage for Becca in terms of points on the pieces, but it's still going to be very difficult to put that king into an actual check position, let alone a checkmate with what's left on the board right now.
Yeah, I feel like we're still like in the middle. We're still in the mid game, right? So we are
Yeah,
still anything could still happen,
lots can happen.
right? A lot could
Lots
still
will happen.
happen, and we have seen from past experiences that some players are not immune to making mistakes that cost them the game, even though they have the most advantage. Like we've seen the ball fully one sided, like almost like full, but like and then a player just messes up and then loses almost like almost loses the game, or so we are not like these players are not immune to making blunders or mistakes. So there's still a lot that could still happen, and I'm not counting out anyone yet. So let's just like wait and see how this plays out. Um, but yeah, I think we can just like check out hostess Prom X so far and see how that's going. Um,
See,
so
how's
yeah.
it going here? Oh, a lot has changed actually since we were here last. More development. Wow, that's actually interesting that A file is completely empty, except for that one rook that's sitting there. That's kind of hilarious, but the rest of the board, I think this is sort of what we expected it to play out, right? In the sense that the entire right side is very, very quiet, not much action happening there. The entire mid game has been centered around developing pieces on the left side of the board, and it's culminated largely in coronations, primarily being able to find this very aggressive posture. And with this move, oh, we have a young rook for knight trade. You love to see it.
Oh, it's a
And off
fork.
the back of this,
Oh, it's a
yeah,
fork.
and I'm also gonna have it's a young folk play, and you're also gonna be able to like reposition. You can't like eat the knight immediately because you already have the queen protection. Love to see it.
Makes because like his pieces are still like in the defensive, like, and which is weird because black is supposed to be the defensive one in the game, not white. The white pieces have, white has that first move advantage. He gets to make the first move. So in a way, white could take command of the game. Because white is always a step. Has that one move advantage all the time. So as if you're playing white, you'd want to be more aggressive compared to black. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like whites right now is playing responsive, is responding based on what Coronations is doing, and he's not really taking initiative of the board. And you can look at the position. All of white pieces seem to be in the original position. Like, to be honest, they're not in the game. They are not anywhere. They're not found. While black has a knight on b3, forking the two rooks and the bishop, and he goes for the bishop. Oh, just killing him slowly. That was an interesting.
That's super nice.
That was interesting. And him not being too hungry and going for the rook immediately, but just like trying not to take away that bishop. I'm not sure about it.
I think he recognizes. Oh, this is actually brilliant. I think they recognize the state of the game right now, and they're like, okay, if I go for this rook, there's a high possibility that I end up losing a piece immediately afterwards. And even if I don't, this bishop, I can still imagine soon in a couple of moves actually being useful. And no, problem X gave away few queen. It's gonna force a queen trade. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, anyway, it's a trade because the next move was gonna be.
I was looking at the D1 rook.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is that like why I'm okay with this, or what the issue is, with going for the bishop instead of the rooks, is that when we got into the game, we saw that a file is completely empty, right? There's very limited utility into taking that rook. It doesn't really do anything for you. And the way the game is looking right now, you don't necessarily mind going for like having another rook unleashed. You're still going to be able to get the trade win. I mean, I guess go for the queen trade, right? You often say that if you're the one that's playing from behind, never go for the trade. But if you're the one that's playing from ahead, you can afford to do it, and it buys you further positioning. Why not, right? Go for it.
100s. That was well played by Coronations, and luckily for Problem X, he saw it coming and forced the exchange because it was going to be a very tough position. But still, he's not out of the danger zone. He just prolonged his death. Because I feel like this is pretty much chai for white. It's pretty much chai. Next better player. There's no match after this, so it's pretty rough. But
no, there might still be one tiebreaker for top.
But like he's probably going to be a tiebreaker for like second place. He's probably going to compete for that second place spot or no third place spot. Because like
for third place,
for third place. But let's just see what happens because like this is chess, man. We've seen games going 180 and then running back to that and then hitting another 180 in the opposite direction and then turning again 180. So anything can still happen. So let's not count out Problem X yet. But by the looks of it, Coronations does seem to know what he's doing. He's playing very clinical chess. Making the right. What I say the right moves. Nothing a bit too ambitious here. Nothing a bit too crazy. Just playing. That nice sweet chess.
I'm very glad about this move that we just saw here from Problem X to make sure that you open up space here on this G file, run away with your king.
Yeah.
Looking at this game state right now, it's very obvious that if you stayed where you were, very uncomfortable checkmate was coming not too long from now. So doing the right thing, keeping the game alive, does mean that it costs some pieces in exchange. Not much you can do about that. It is what it is. And now you have to choose, right? Are you going to lose?
So,
Well, actually, you might not lose pawn because you might not be comfortable going in with pawn. But now you come back. Yeah, I don't know about
this.
this.
Is rough. Yeah, this is rough for this is rough for white. Coronations does give up, that rook. He loses it just to at least get rid of one of the two of those minor pieces, and just add more, more of that threat. Yeah, this is pretty.
And
yeah, this is
now you're in a rough spot, right? Because as soon as this promotion comes, this is pretty much, I think, what, mate in one. Nothing you can do
pretty much
to threaten the pawn. I think there is something you can do, right? If you open up space literally right now, if you get this E2 bishop away, yeah, you have to. Just get it away, make space, do what you need to do, make the trade. Yeah, there you go. That was a brilliant move.
Yeah, but I think that was a bit necessary. But I guess maybe Black just wants to keep two of his bishops. That two bishop advantage. You know what I'm saying? And you can see how strong it is in this game. So yeah.
There's plenty of other pawns to promote, right? You're not necessarily worried about, oh no, I'm running out of pieces to do this kind of move again with. This just buys time for Problem X. And you know why it buys time for Problem X? Mr. Perfect? Look at the time, my friend.
As soon as you said it buys time, I was like, hey, wait, look at the time. And the guy only has 36 seconds left. 36 Coronations has 36 seconds. He has all the advantage, but is he going to be able to make this guy in 30 seconds? In 30 seconds. Really it's gonna be a nice one. Actually, we'll just
double bishop mates aren't the easiest in the world, right? That's why they generally don't see them by themselves in the end game unless somebody's in a really weird position on the board. So unless you can get this queen promotion very, very soon.
He got 26. Oh, okay. Hold on. Bekra. Oh, Bekra lost. Yeah, she lost to Jaden. I wish I checked out that match. Maybe we could check out the highlights after this and see how that went down. But Bekra lost. And I had bet on her. I didn't bet on her, but I assumed that she was going to take it again this week. But it's chess, my G. And we got like 13 seconds and counting, 12, 11 seconds left for Coronations. Is he going to do it? He got 2 queens. Hey.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
That's
5 seconds.
Chai. It's Chai. Actually, we got a tie on our hands. We got Jaden and Coronations tied for their top spot. They both had the same number of tie break points as well. Or as you can see on next to the 3 out of 3, they both have 4 out of. They both have like 4 points, 4 tie break points. So I think we might have. What's this? We might have a tiebreaker in our hands.
Tiebreaker.
Yeah, we'll have to jump into a tiebreaker. So I think we'll just have to go for a quick break and just ask the guys to play, a quick tiebreaker, and then we'll be back. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Just sit tight, because I'm sure you guys want to see this. You guys don't want to miss out on this final match against Coronations and Jaden Smith. So just stay put. Just stay put. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to week 4 of the Ekasi Esports chess series powered by Vodacom. And before the break, we had a tough position, Snare. We had a tough position. We had Jaden Smith, who managed to beat last week's winner of the of week 3 of the Ekasi Esports chess series, Bikra, who was also like the favorite, I guess, this week to also take it. But Jaden managed to pull through, and also he took the match. But now he's tied in first place against Coronations, and now they are currently like just setting up a tiebreaker match just so we can see who's going to take that first place and who's going to take second place. But yeah, we're just waiting for them to load up, and then we should be in store for a tiebreaker match. But yeah, I guess we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. But before we jump into the tiebreaker match, what I would love for us to do is what I would love for us to do is just go through Becker's match against Jaden, because we missed how it ended. Like, I think we stopped at the middle game. We had started in the middle game, so maybe if we could like just check it out and see what exactly happened. You know what I'm saying?
How did this all go so south? How did this all go so south?
I mean, like, the game was still like a bit tight, but like it looked like Becker had the advantage because remember she took the rook out of the board. She managed to take away who's this Jaden Smith's rook early in the game. So maybe let's just see what happened. What happened there? Like, how did it go down? How did it? It was a tight match. Nothing. It was an easy match for her. It was a tight match for her, but looking at her position earlier, it looked like the match was gonna go, and it was gonna swing into her favor. But unfortunately, she just lands in third place. She lands in third place, and which is not a bad position because she still gets 150 rands in cash. She at least doesn't go home empty-handed. But dead nuggets.
So it looks like the main thing that ended up happening here was just that the advancing play from Jaden Smith was very, very circumspect. Like, there was actually just one move that seems to have swung the entire momentum in the game according to the engine. So I want to actually take a look at this move. Let's see what it was. So move 30, it seems, or roundabouts there.
Okay, move 30.
Seems to have been a time when move 30. Black goes knight to c3, and then afterwards white, instead of so the possibility, like, the whites at this point, right, moves the own rook up onto c7, and from there it doesn't feel like that rook does anything. And unfortunately, the very next move is a check, and because of this, in the position of the check, you immediately give up a queen afterwards. Now that the queen is gone, I mean, sure, you take the knight soon afterwards, but now you're in this really rough position. The enemy still has their queen. They still have a rook. You still have double rooks, but there's no way you're going to be able to beat out those queen advantage when there's this many freaking pawns on the board. And then slowly but surely, Jaden Smith, with this kind of advantage, you should never really lose out the game. One of the things about having queens versus rooks is that rooks can only threaten on a single file at a time. So it's very difficult to actually pin down a queen with just rooks alone. Game at this point is pretty much Jaden Smith's to lose, and Jaden Smith does not.
Yeah, it was. I think I'm on move 29, so I just want to take the people who are watching through the match, just real quick, so they can at least have an idea of what we're talking about, so that they're not in the dark. So let's just switch into it real quick. So this was the position before the entire thing happened. So we're just like, what? So now. Yeah, so Becker plays knight to c6 from e6, I guess, also trying to force the exchange of knights, and also just move the rook into that 6th rank, right? And she does manage to do the exchange, but then Jaden positions knight onto c3, getting ready to fork the king in that position. Also at the same time disconnecting those rooks, and then it looks like Becker just decided to move her rook into the 7th rank. I guess she didn't see that coming. She didn't see e2 coming by the looks of it. Because after this, the queen, the rook, and the knight, the queen, the rook, and the king are forked. So, and then she loses the queen right after that. And then after this, I guess it was pretty much over because Bekra looks like she's trying to salvage the game now, but yeah, it was pretty much over. You know, it was more for like Rook. Yeah, this was pretty much over for Bekra. But
at this point, not much you can do.
yeah,
Game ends.
GG's. Then those GG's. But we're taking a look at the chess engine here. I'm seeing something interesting. I am not sure if you see what I see, but in the match, according to the engine, right? I am not sure. I mean, we have had this situation for in the past where someone plays like, and you know, the funny thing, it happens to Bekra a lot. I'm not gonna say too much about it, but it happens to Bekra a lot. One of the players in the previous weeks was caught, you know, getting having a bit of assistance, you know, from somewhere because they made very accurate moves, you know, by the book. And here it says Jaden had a 90. His moves were 99% accurate.
99 is very high.
Yeah,
99 is very high.
Yeah, you're just 1%, you know, from a perfect score. Just 1% from a perfect score. So yeah, so we don't know. We'll just like run this through our admins and then we'll see what's the conclusion. But for now, we'll just have the tiebreaker between Jaden against Coronations. We'll just like see if we have that game on stream yet. We're just gonna like check it out. But for now, I guess we shall see. So what are your predictions? I mean, if Jaden had like 99% accuracy, do we say he wins? Do you predict that he wins the tiebreaker?
Not 100% necessarily, right? Depends on how the game itself pans out. It might have been, that's the thing always with chess, right? It might be 99% accuracy based on where you are and what's happening in that particular game, in that context. The thing about a game like chess, right, is that ultimately, chess is ultimately still a solved game, right? In principle, there's nothing preventing you from making 100% accurate moves from a game state. And especially from where the game was, from that one big fork move, I think from that game state, any good enough chess player at this level should be able to comfortably close things out. I think it would be interesting to see what the more chaotic setup, what things look like. But yeah, it'll be, so I don't know. I think you do not necessarily know just from a game like this that you can guarantee Jaden Smith wins necessarily. You have to see, especially the opening moves, I think will determine a lot about who's actually favored in the matchup.
I mean, yeah, I guess we shall see what happens in the tiebreaker. But for now, I guess we just have to wait because these guys are still like trying to get set up. They're trying to see. I guess we just have to wait and see who gets to. Yeah, I guess we have to wait and see who plays against each other and who wins that tiebreaker. But at the moment, I think we'll just put up the results on our. I think we'll put up the results on our socials of what happens in the grand finals because it's like they're still setting up, so it might be a minute. And I'm also getting communication from my producers that's saying that it might take a minute for them to get set up. So I guess we can just like close it off here for today. But obviously, like I said, make sure to follow us on the socials, which is at Ekasi Esports on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We put up results for all of our tournaments on our socials. So if you want to follow them, be sure to follow us on social media. Also, check out the website for a detailed, explanation on each tournament that we're running at the moment. Also, to get to know more about, about Ekasi Esports as an organization, be sure to go to the website, which is at www.ekasiesports.africa. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Do you want to plug in anything on your end? Be sure to follow Snare at Snaregradamus on Twitter. Finally got the pronunciation down. But yeah, be sure to follow. And if you want to follow me, also follow me. My handle is Perfect Kanpeki on Twitter. And yeah, I think it's pretty much on my end. Do you have anything to say, Sneh?
Yeah, make sure to follow me on YouTube as well at Curve Thought, or you can follow me on Twitch at Snarecasting. I'll be back on streaming from tomorrow. It's been a bit of a downtime, but we're back on the grind yet again. So make sure to see me there.
Yeah, you heard that from Mr. Dota himself, so be sure to see him there tomorrow on his stream. And also be sure to catch the Free Fire series, the Ekasi Esports Free Fire series, live every Friday on the Ekasi Esports YouTube channel from 4 p.m. Be sure to check out the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series. So if you like soccer and you like FIFA, be sure to check out the Ekasi Esports FIFA 21 series, also powered by Vodacom, live every Saturday at 2 p.m. We're actually starting with the group stages this week, so you guys better make sure that you don't miss out on that action because we'll start with Group Group A this week, and then the next week's gonna be Group B, then the other week's gonna be Group C, then it's gonna be Group D, and then we'll have A players going on to the knockouts. So it's still, hey man, we got heat, man. We got heat packed up in the storeroom, so you guys better make sure you get a bit of that dose. And then we still have the weekly leagues going on for the next. I think we still have like 3 more weekly leagues. Oh, is it 4? Yeah, 4 more weekly leagues left. So after the 4 more weekly leagues, we're gonna go into the playoffs of the Ekasi Esports Chess Series, also powered by Vodacom, which is also live on the Ekasi Esports YouTube channel every Sunday. And also, if you see these deals at the bottom of the screen, I'm not sure if you can see them. You see that one there? That one? Yeah. So if you guys want to get access to these awesome deals that you guys see being advertised and promoted across on the stream, be sure to visit Vodacom World in Johannesburg in Midrand to get access to these awesome exclusive deals, which are only available at Vodacom World. So be sure to visit and check out Vodacom World. They also have an esports hub that side. They got esports hub. We're streaming there every Saturday. So if you guys want to pop through and say hey, and yeah, I think this is I've been saying that we're going to say goodbye for a minute now. So yeah, this is me and Snare officially signing out. So till next week, guys, keep safe.
Bye.